Hey y'all. So just got finished wrapping up peer review one for this past week, and this was the assignment where you were asked to develop, understand why we study theory, what are the examples of criteria, listen, define them, and also why we use criteria. And I guess just after finishing, I wanted to kind of talk about like this assignment, some trends and patterns that I saw. So I understand that a lot of people have a lot of stuff they got to do outside of this, right? A lot of you are working, they have childcare, they have elder care, and outside of those things, many of you commute, many from long distances, right? You know, some people are living out in Victorville or Palm Desert, or even out in Blythe or Needles or something like that, right? And I understand that on top of the challenges of all the external life that we face, right, there's also the challenges of commuting and keeping up with every classes, right? Because I know all of you are motivated to take on and finish up your degree. And when I became an instructor here, like I really became more aware of that than I did, because it's a unique situation from where I went to grad school is very different. I guess like the first part I want to say is that I'm aware of like the challenges that many of you face on a day-to-day basis that really make it very impressive that you're continuing to pursue work and go to school outside of it, right? Because it is a challenge. I went to grad school with people who were married and had kids and had to work on the outside too, and it's a hard road. It's a hard road. Many of you are doing it now. Really at the beginning of adulthood, right? And I appreciate that it's challenging related to that, and a lot of you are motivated to succeed. Having said that, there are some. While I want everyone to succeed in this course, and they want to, and I understand that, and I believe that most students want to do well. There is a point where some things just aren't gun cut it, right? And I think really like some of my main concerns, right, is that I think, because due to time constraints or maybe, something else, right, you're balancing your work life kind of balance, right, or you're overstressed, you're preparing for other courses, right, like all those are real, those are significant barriers. But I think there's a point when, some of you have relied upon either having like direct quotations from a book, um, and maybe like having, or just, finding some other sources to copy and paste directly into the assignment, and maybe not necessarily taking as much time to work on the assignment as you otherwise would. And again, I understand there are reasons for that, and I'm not judging anyone for that, right? And I can understand the appeal of maybe doing an assignment quickly, especially when you're dealing with so many other external factors. Um, my concern, though, is that like this is one of the first assignments that we did in preparation for the final paper, and the goal and the intent of this, right, was for students to take it, look through, kind of experience themselves, familiarize themselves with the rubric, take some time to write the first part of my answer, receive some of my feedback, and I think, and then you would have the opportunity to edit and revise before it goes on. So by the time that this component of the paper is out of the final paper, you've had an opportunity to correct it. So a lot of my concerns relate to to this particular issue, right? Is that for some students, I think they have not taken the time to read the material, or they seem to think that typing in verbatim what I said in the video is sufficient for this. Or, as I mentioned earlier, some people are copying from other sources. And again, I understand that there are pressures and complaints, and there's a lot of anxiety about writing. I was like that too as an undergrad. But I'm going to ask you to remember, right, the goal of this feedback, right, is for you to put in an effort and to also revise and make changes so you can improve down the road. So there isn't like a big surprise at the end of the term. No one, at this point in the class, right, this is a pretty low stakes assignment at the grand scheme of things, right? It's only 12 out of 400 points. So, how someone performs on this paper is not going to make or break it down the road. But I do have a concern that, if someone at this stage of the process is taking, an easy way or a shortcut out, or they're putting off on working on this later the back road, that this is going to portend to greater consequences down the road. And I'm also concerned that some of you will take the feedback seriously, and others of you will not. And I guess I just want to encourage students to really think about not having to do something twice, right? I mean, that was one of the lessons that my dad had growing up, was that you don't want to put yourself in a position where you have to do things twice, because it was a paraphrase off his dad, who always said, like, they never seem to find enough time to do it right the first time, but they always seem to have enough time to come back and fix it a second time. So I'm going to ask everyone, I understand the challenges that many of you face, and there's a lot of pressure and anxiety related to a writing assignment. But I'm going to ask that people take a little bit more time and have the courage to actually ask for help. I'm here for y'all, and I want to help you succeed. And if you have trouble understanding something or finding resources on how to express yourself for these assignments, I hope you feel comfortable asking me. Because I can remember in undergrad many times when I didn't feel like I could ask for help, and it was a lot harder because of that. And I don't think I could ask for a lot of my professors for help. But I want to extend an invitation that if someone needs help understanding something, or is feeling pressure to do something and needs some kind of assistance, please reach out to me. Because I do want to help you guys succeed. But I can only help you if you let me know that you need help. And I can understand that maybe it feels like you shouldn't have to ask for help, or maybe there's some sort of stigma related to that. But as an instructor here, I'm here to help you be on the pathway to success. And rather than viewing it as like a detriment to actually needing help, recognize that you took a lot of courage to come to school and to start it, right? Many of you are first generation students. And part of that process, right, part of learning is learning how to ask for help and how to get better, which all of you are doing by pursuing higher education. So with that said, hope you guys feel more comfortable reaching out to me. I'm happy to explain any of my feedback, and I hope to talk some of you more in the future.